Hey guys, so welcome back to our channel. For those of you who have not heard from me yet officially, I am a mom now, and this is Gabriel. You want to say hi to YouTube? Oh. Okay. Well, he just ate, so now he's trying to take his nap. So sorry if he ends up making noise in this video. He's still trying to settle a little bit, but I wanted to share with you guys some of my pregnancy things that I went through. I was supposed to make pregnancy videos, updates throughout our 9 months, but we were still trying to figure things out, like get a camera, and I don't know, those months were kind of just a little hectic, so we didn't get to, but I wanted to share with other women some of the symptoms that I went through. So just in case, if you are going through the same thing and maybe you don't know that you're pregnant, maybe you might want to look into that, or maybe if you are having a symptom that you are concerned about or wondering if it's normal in pregnancy, then maybe I had the same one, and it will make you less worried. So I really only had the most symptoms, I would say, in the first trimester. So I wrote them down in my phone, so I'll just go through and read them. So like I said, my first trimester is where I had the most symptoms. Then I'll explain as I go on, but my second trimester and my third didn't really have much. So my first trimester, I feel like some of these are typical, the most common ones, but I feel like I also had some symptoms that I've actually never heard other people have. So I had to actually, I don't always suggest this, and Michael gets on me all the time about just going on Google and searching stuff, because you can get misinformation and then get anxiety and then get fearful and all that. But I did have some symptoms that I had not heard other women having, so I did go and search for myself just to see if it was normal, just to give myself peace of mind. But some of them were, so I know it's called morning sickness, but for me it was not only in the morning. I had all day sickness. That's what I called it. I would tell everybody I have all day sickness. It was not only in the morning, it lasted all day. And this went on for about, I would say, the whole first 3 months. So he's like rolling his eyes back. You're so cute. So yeah, the first whole 3 months, I would say I had nausea all day long. Did not get better with anything. I, on the other hand, did not take any medication. I didn't want to fill my body with medicine if I didn't absolutely need it. And at times felt like I did need it, because I felt like the nausea was sitting right here, and I needed to throw up. But that's the thing, is I rarely ever threw up. I threw up 3 times total, and every other time I would not get any release. I would never feel relieved. I just always felt nauseous, like it was right here about to come out, but it didn't. Sorry if that's TMI. I had extreme fatigue. I was taking naps during the day, which is something that I do not do. Everybody who knows me knows that I do not take naps. For some reason, naps don't do anything for me. If I nap during the day, I end up waking up and feeling sick, and I feel worse. So if I'm super tired, I usually just gotta wait to go to bed. So me having to take a nap was definitely very different for me. I had no energy no matter what I ate, no matter what I drank. I was constantly burping. This is one of the symptoms that I don't hear many women talk about. So when I had this, I went to search it and I was like, this is so weird. Why am I constantly burping? It was out of the ordinary burping. It was like all day. Even if I hadn't eaten anything, I was burping, and they were more intense burps, I guess you could say. I had no motivation to do anything, which I guess is part of the fatigue. So for example, I didn't have any motivation to do anything around the house. Laundry was piling up and I would look at it and it would bother me, but I just could not bring myself to go and do something about it. Dishes were piling up. Thankfully, we do live with my family, so my mom and my grandma were able to handle those things in the house. So the house didn't get crazy messy, but yeah, I just could not help with things. I had a bunch of my clothes everywhere in my room, on my bed, on my floor. It was just like laundry piling up. I could not bring myself to fold it and put it away. I just did not want to do anything. And I'm sure to other people I looked lazy, but I also didn't want to make it seem like I was taking advantage of being pregnant, because that's definitely not what I was doing. I just honestly could not find the motivation to do nothing. All I wanted to do for the longest time in the first trimester was just either nap, lay down, or just sit on the couch. My breasts were extremely sore. So more sore than your typical soreness when it's for your period. I also had a lot of food aversions, which I had heard from other women, but I really did not know what that looked like until I experienced it myself, which for me, I would say was one of the most challenging symptoms, believe it or not. Because when you have food aversions, it's like you really don't know what to eat, and you don't know if something new maybe that you haven't eaten yet in your pregnancy, you don't know if that's going to bother you, so you're like scared to eat it. And then you're also scared to eat your favorite foods, because then you might end up hating them. So for me, one of the things that were most challenging was coffee. So I'm one of the people that I need my morning coffee. I can go on without another coffee during the day. I know some people need like 2-3 coffees, but for me, I need my morning coffee. And coffee was one of the things that tasted horrible during my pregnancy. It had this like metallic taste, and the aftertaste was horrible. As soon as I finished drinking my coffee, in order to feel a little bit better, I had to go and eat something sweet, or I had to go pop gum in my mouth, because I just could not handle the aftertaste. Just the aftertaste of the coffee, once it settled for like 5-10 minutes, would make me want to throw up. So that was one thing. Another thing that I could not stand in my pregnancy was chocolate. And if anybody knows me, chocolate is my favorite thing to eat. I typically need a piece of chocolate every single day. After dinner, I'm usually always the person to reach for a chocolate. And during my first trimester, I could not stand it. Could not even stand looking at it. If I had anything sweet to eat, if we made a dessert or bought something, Another really weird food aversion was water. And this is something that I had never heard from anybody else. I ended up telling this to my doctor, and my doctor thankfully said that it was completely normal, but I could not drink water. For some reason, I know water really has no taste, but for some reason water would just enhance my nausea and it would make me even more sick. So the first trimester, I really just had to stick with drinking juice and teas, things like that, which was really hard for me because I'm a big water drinker. I drink a lot of water typically, so to not have it was strange. Now in my notes I have it written down as the weird symptoms now. So I had really vivid dreams. I'm not gonna go into detail of what my dreams were because most of them are personal, but yeah, I did have really vivid dreams. I was dreaming almost every night, which is not really typical for me. I had increased heart rate during my pregnancy, and this is something that was not only in the first trimester, it lasted all the way until I gave birth. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I do struggle with anxiety. So people with anxiety typically already have a slightly faster heart rate than people who don't have anxiety, just because what it naturally does to your body, I think it like pumps more blood to your heart, makes your heart pump faster, and the adrenaline and all of that. So yeah, so people with anxiety typically have a faster heart rate. So I already had a natural faster heart rate, and then on top of it, in pregnancy my heart rate went even faster. I can't remember if I actually monitored it. I think I timed it a couple times and my heart rate was at like resting heart rate, I think was reaching the 90s. I don't know if any of you know. For those of you who know the normal range, that is pretty high, especially if you're not working out or anything. Like sometimes I also had palpitations, and typically palpitations are okay if you are being active in that moment. So like if I'm going up the stairs or if I'm walking, then that would be considered normal. But I was having palpitations just laying down and just being in bed and doing nothing, not being active at all. So I could be laying down, me and Michael could be just talking or watching a movie or something, relaxing, and I would feel palpitations, which is very concerning because I'm just laying there and I'm not doing anything. So realistically, that's not supposed to be happening. I had extreme dry nose and I had a nosebleed for about 2 days. That's what it says in my notes. I don't remember exactly how long that was for, but it says 2 days. Which, by the way, postpartum now I still have an extremely dry nose. I had indigestion. Sorry, I had indigestion, and I know this is probably too much information, but I know it's mostly women watching this who have already gone through pregnancy or are hoping to be pregnant. So yeah, I did have a hard time using the bathroom in the first trimester. I had a stuffy nose. It says food and drinks leaving awful aftertaste in my mouth, sometimes metallic taste, which is what I was saying earlier with the coffee. But what I forgot to say was it wasn't just coffee, it was a bunch of food. I think the first trimester, it was pretty much everything I was eating. I was not enjoying dinner or lunch. I was not enjoying food at all for the whole first trimester. Every time it was to eat, I had to like force myself to eat because I knew that anything I ate was just gonna leave me feeling nauseous and just, I don't know how to explain a food aversion unless you have experienced it yourself, but it's like the moment when you're eating the food, you're fine. But then when you're done, and if you wait like 10 minutes, then you feel disgusted about the food that you just ate and you regret eating it. Okay. Sorry guys, but I have to finish the rest of the video on my phone because our camera died. So now I don't have the list to look at, but I think I was pretty much done all of the symptoms. I think the only ones that were left were I had bleeding gums throughout my entire pregnancy. It wasn't only in the first trimester. I had it actually right up until birth. So every time I would brush my teeth, it was really bad. Like the whole sink, well, not the whole sink, but well, I'm over exaggerating. But most of the sink was bright red and my gums were inflamed. And typically people who have that symptom can go to their dentist and get like a regular cleaning, and the dentist can help them to minimize the inflammation, but I didn't end up going. But I did have that symptom. It, like I said, it actually lasted right up until I gave birth. So literally the day I gave birth, it stopped. I don't know what kind of hormone or what was making that happen, but literally as soon as baby was out, gums were back to normal, thankfully. I think that was it. Or, oh yes, I had a headache. Headache started, I think it was, oh, now I can't remember. But I think it was in the second trimester that I started getting headaches. Or towards the end of the first trimester leading into the second. Now, the second trimester was bliss. It was completely different from the first trimester. The first trimester, I'm not gonna lie, was extremely difficult. There were moments where I thought to myself that there is no way I can do this. I could not go on 9 months possibly continuing to be that way, because there are women who unfortunately do continue to have the same symptoms throughout most of their pregnancy. And they continue having nausea all the way through. I think my mom actually, she said that she had nausea and all of the symptoms for majority of her pregnancy. But thankfully mine ended in the first trimester. Oh, baby's squirming. So second trimester was great, as I'm sure you have heard from most women that it is very different. No nausea, back to normal, could eat any food I wanted, could have coffee again, but still did not want chocolate. Chocolate was the one thing that lasted all the way to the end that I just could not stand. But yeah, I felt great during my second trimester. You start getting a little bit of a bump, so it's cute, but not uncomfortable. You are starting to kind of look pregnant-ish, but not really, so you can get away with it. And, you know, you don't have to change your clothing sizes, so everything is pretty much like pre-pregnancy, but you have a tiny baby growing inside of you. I had more energy, more motivation to do things. I was finally doing things around the house, cleaning up, acting more like myself. I know the video is now at a completely different angle, but I just want to quickly wrap it up. So I told you guys about the first trimester and the second trimester, and pretty much the third trimester was just being extremely tired again. Feeling like I had to take naps again, like the first trimester. And obviously the third trimester, you are heavier, your baby is growing, your belly is getting bigger, so everything is very uncomfortable. It got uncomfortable to walk and to sleep. Some nights I had to figure out different sleeping positions just to get comfortable, and just like it got hard to roll out of bed and to sit down. You can't just get up normally, can't really bend down and pick things up off the floor, so you need people to help you. So I think that was it. I didn't really have any crazy symptoms like the first trimester. It was pretty much just being uncomfortable physically, just because your body is so different at the end. And oh, one more thing. Towards the very end, I would say the last couple of weeks, I did get some swelling. So I got swelling in my feet and my ankles, and I think 2 nights actually. I woke up in the morning and I actually had swollen hands, which was really weird for me. So I was just like moving my fingers around trying to get the blood to circulate better. That did help. But for my legs and my feet, I had a cream that my mom gave me that's supposed to help with swelling. So I'd put that on at night. And I think that's pretty much it. So sorry guys, I know this video was all over the place. I started with the camera, then on my phone, and now here. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this video was able to help somebody, someone who may have been having a symptom and wasn't sure if it was normal, and maybe I had the same one as you. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Bye.